In Japan, there are a multitude of ways to make sound effects. Some of these have common parallels between their language and ours. The sound a dog makes in English is written as bark, and in Japan it's wan wan. Similarly, our version of the sound a cat makes is meow, while Japan labels it nya nya. This linguistic skill is normally associated as onomatopoeia, but Japan takes it one step further into a territory known as idiophones. Idiophones are words that are usually onomatopoeic, but can also be used to convey certain actions or emotions or texture that just can't be covered by your usual sound effects. And Japan has a whole treasure trove of idiophones. There's kira kira to signify something sparkling, jiro jiro for an intense stare, neba neba means stickiness, and niko niko is the sound of smiling. That brings us to kuru kuru, which means spinning around and around. Today on Nin Chronicles, we're going to talk about kuru kuru kururin. Kuru Kuru Kururin is a game about, yeah, you guessed it, spinning around and around. Kuru Kuru Kururin was first shown off at Space World in the fall of 2000, and pretty much the biggest design difference that I can see is Kururin's design. He went from a little baby chicken to this happy bluebird. It was eventually released at the launch of the Game Boy Advance way back in 2001 for both Japan and Europe, skipping a North American release. That is, until it came out on the Wii U Virtual Console earlier this year. It's been 15 years, but it was definitely worth the wait. The plot for Kuru 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 Kuru. Alright, this is getting my tongue all twisted here. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna call it Kuru for a bit. The plot for Kuru is that Kururin's brothers and sisters have all wandered off and gone missing. There's no bad guy involved, and if we take a look at the intro, we see that they just wandered off. They were just following Mom in a straight line and then just turned around. How does that even happen? What are you doing, kids? Come on. Kururin's mom sends him out on a rescue mission even though he claims he's never been to the outside world. Well, if that's true, then why is he wearing these pilot goggles? It's almost like he expected Mom to ask him about this. Maybe Kururin was really behind this all along. He kidnapped his brothers and sisters in order to have an adventure. That conniving bird. While Kururin pretends to not have any experience, Mom suggests training with Professor Hare to get used to the Hellerin. The Hellerin is a type of miniature helicopter with slowly rotating blades. The worlds are made up of narrow passages which make navigation essential in getting through the game. If you try braving through when you're not ready, poor Kururin's Hellerin is going to explode. Most levels have a rest area along the way to recover your health, so don't worry if you're having too much of a tough time. In fact, I'll let you in on a secret that the game doesn't tell you about. See these little rippling zones? Those are actually hints that it's a safe spot where you can rotate endlessly and not get hit. Great for when you're just trying to get your bearings. Sometimes you'll find that the passage just doesn't agree with your rotation. Maybe if you spun the other way it'd be fine. Well, there's a solution for that too. Some levels are peppered with springs that'll reverse your rotation, letting you pass through those spots without issue. If the mazes are giving you too much trouble, then another option is to shrink your blades a bit in the starting area. Don't think it's without a penalty though. You won't get on the leaderboard at the end, and even if you've made it through without a scratch, the game won't commend you for it. Kuru knows when you've been cheating. Alternatively, you might want to try out the easy mode. By default, the blades are at their shortest from normal mode, and with the added benefit of getting the credit you so rightfully deserve. Wait, are you still having trouble with the easy mode blades? Well, you can make those even shorter. Look how tiny you are. I think you should be able to beat the levels now. Of course, you won't get any credit though. You're stuck living with that shame. You'll notice on the level select screen that you'll get a little preview of the layout you're diving into. In later levels though, that won't really give you the whole picture. Luckily, the menu has a map button to let you take a look at all the dangers in your path. Are you still struggling with levels? Check out the practice mode. This handy mode lets you start off levels from the rest areas, something even the main adventure doesn't let you do. On top of that, there's in-game videos demoing how to get through the levels. It's incredible, it's like you have your own personal video walkthrough, don't even need to go to YouTube. It's pretty outstanding that this game basically gives you a ton of resources to help you get through the levels. You'll never need to feel like you can't beat anything. Every level has a hidden pickup hiding somewhere, although most of them are pretty much in plain sight. For the most part, these pickups change the design of the Hellerin. You can mix and match to which shape and color you want to pilot. And if you feel like it, you can have your siblings along for the ride to keep you company. And if you've got the urge to change your design in the middle of the level, well, they've got you covered there too. You'll have likely noticed by now that there's a time attack leaderboard in every level. This is for those of you who really want to go the extra mile. Seems like Professor Hare has been exploring this world so much he's already on the leaderboard. Twice! A good tip to getting through these levels is that if you hold the A or B buttons, you'll get an extra boost in speed. And if you're feeling dangerous, hold down both together to become a real speed demon. Just don't let it get to your head or else you'll be in for a rough ride. Keep her cool and you should be able to speed through the levels in no time. And if you manage to beat one set of the professor's time, you'll get to take that letter after his name for yourself. If you manage to beat both sets of the professor's times, your ultimate reward is a third set of times. If you were frustrated zooming through the levels before, this is going to be an extra nightmare for you now. I thought this game wasn't supposed to have a villain, but I'm starting not to trust this bunny. Look at him relaxing. He knows he won't be able to beat all of his high scores, that smug rabbit. Oh, but that's not all. There's also a challenge mode where you get shorter mini-levels to navigate through. With less health, though. Let me guess, the rabbit is behind this too? He's all over the leaderboards again. The default propeller length is going to be the same size even if you chose easy mode, but yet again, you can shrink it down. And it can get even smaller than easy mode. Look, you can just be a little tiny cockpit. You still get the penalties though. You didn't think you could escape that, could you? There's also a versus mode, but with the Wii U lacking link cable support, I wasn't able to test it out. If you'd rather own the cartridge version, the multiplayer is basically races in challenge mode. Imagine racing this Time Attack Ghost, except it's 3 ghosts. Everyone can also select their own blade length and health, and then we'll really have a party. Kururin had a pretty nice run during the 6th generation of Nintendo consoles, with a few more sequels, and you can be sure that I'll give them their own time to shine on N Chronicles someday. In the meantime, check this out. Kururin got to have an assist trophy in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The Hellerin will show up and interfere with your fight. The blades don't hurt, but they can cause you to lose your ground. To sum it up, Kururin makes a pretty charming experience. It is rather easy to make it through the adventure, but going the extra mile to beat the rabbit's high scores, perfecting the levels, beating the challenge mode and perfecting those levels makes the whole game a lot more meatier. You also get a few more levels in both the adventure and challenge modes if you manage to perfect all the levels, which is a pretty tough feat. Or an incredibly easy feat if you're like me and take advantage of the restore points of Virtual Console. Kururin is pretty cheap to pick up on the Wii U, and if it somehow convinces Nintendo to release the other games overseas, then I'm totally all for it. If you'd rather have the cartridge version though, I will point out that anything that plays Game Boy Advance games can play all Game Boy Advance games. Thanks for watching and spin safely. Ah, dang it, oh, dang it, come on. Alright, just a little bit, dang it. Almost, come on.